back to Conception Mechanism. We're back after a couple of weeks. Sorry about the delay. Um, as I warned, life got super busy. So, anyways, yeah, I think despite the schedule that I came out with for how these videos might look in order, I kind of decided to take a look at the song that we were, the piece that we were putting together before a couple weeks ago. I think the third video that we put out, episode 3. We're going to continue that today, and I had some ideas pop up. Again, typically my writing process is to finish a song in one set period of time. So if I'm working on a piece, I'm usually going to, spend a couple hours and just finish it and get it done, fully finished. Typically, that's how it's always been done for, I'd say, probably 95% of what I've written over the years. And I think this is the only, the third time or so that I've actually come back to something. So I'm just coming back and listening to some of this, and there's some good stuff in here, which is kind of funny because if I'll write something and typically I'll come back to it a couple of days later, or maybe like a week or two later, and listen to it and be like, oh, this is actually really cool. This is super rad. And when I'm writing it, I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't know. We'll see. So, but anyways, I think my audio is going to be cooperating today, hopefully. So I'm thinking let's just listen to a little bit of this. We've kind of got the breakdown, and I'll switch over to Cubase here. We've got kind of the break, the really where it swells and gets really loud kind of in this area. And 5 minutes in, something like that. And we're right after that. Oh, I remember we did a little change in finger placement there. Yeah, that's nice. And then it gets quiet again. Okay. Again, in typical fashion, I'll listen through the whole set. Oh, it kind of gets loud again. That's cool. See, I didn't even listen to any of this before I started rolling. So it's kind of fun to come back like I typically would and see what was done prior. Okay, so I had some, just a couple of ideas kind of come up in my brain about how to elevate the piece that's already been written. Again, I feel like it's not complete necessarily yet, but it's got a really good base. Anyways, I over the last couple of weeks and prior, actually in the last stream that I did for episode 3, you saw me probably listening on my phone to some voice memos, which sometimes I'll just start recording what I'm hearing in nature or whatever, and put that into the piece somehow. I feel like that's been like Godspeed You Black Emperor is like a big for me inspiration for that, because they have so much like what sounds like things that have been recorded in like their lives, or like they're taking recordings from source material or something, which I think is super rad. It tells an interesting narrative. So anyways, I have 2 that I already downloaded on my computer, and I'm actually interested to listen to those real fast. Let me find them. That's not blowing the speakers out. I'm so sorry. I should have tested this before I even mentioned it. But this is like, what? A 7-second long. I think I was recording like a train or something. And I think this recording was back from November of last year. And then I just took a recording the other week, which I might need to turn up a little bit. This one's like a minute long. Might be hard to hear. This one I took a recording right off a division of some birds, and I think there's some traffic that you can hear in the background as well. Yeah, that's cool. So initially what I was thinking, let me pause this. Initially what I was thinking was to throw some or both of these into pause stretch. So that's another application that I use. Super weird and niche application that essentially just stretches, gives you the ability to like stretch things like super crazy. Let me actually minimize this so it's easier for me to see. But I'm going to throw one of those in there. And of course, this is like a super old application, which I love. Let me pull this up here. Where are we? There we go. Maybe we'll use the train one. Thinking that might be a good one to use. So it's already like base level stretched a couple of things. Like parameters are already kind of set in here. So if I start to play this, you can tell that it's like stretching. And if you listen to my music, like I used to use pulse stretch like all the time. Boy, that's probably loud. That sounds good, though. It sounds so good. It's kind of cheating. I feel like pulse stretch, whenever I use it, it's doing some heavy lifting here. But I kind of want it to be longer because it's not all that long. So I'm thinking let's stretch it a little bit further. I don't know if that's going to be long enough quite for what we're looking for, but let's... Okay, let me see if I can just do it to the desktop-y. And we'll do train. Train horn. It's great. It kind of reminds me of some of my old stuff. Where I took some pulse stretch of a train that I recorded in Corvallis at Oregon State during college. Okay, let me see if I can find this. down look like I wanted it to. Let me see if I can figure this out. What are we doing here? Paul stretch. Here we go. I was doing the wrong thing. Train horn. There we go. Okay, so now that that's done, I should be able to throw the wave straight into Cubase. So let's go back over here. Oops. Going too fast. Add audio track. Okay. And I'm not sure really if I want this in the beginning or not. Oops. What is my Cubase doing? Here we go. Import my audio file here. We'll throw the train horn in. Okay. Yeah, see, it's not long. I don't know if it's quite long enough for what I'm looking for. Yeah, see, it's only... Yeah, what is that? And I'm not exactly sure I want that immediately. Okay, so we're going to test that. See how that sounds. I think we need to transition a little better in there. Okay, see how this sounds. Yep, so we're transitioning a little bit. Easier to see. Okay, let's hold on there. I think this needs to be hitting its apex when we're sort of a little bit closer. Don't want Polly to be taking over too much. So, sorry, I'm having this off screen for some reason. Oh, that sounded really good. Okay. 14 minutes in already. Jesus. Okay. Okay, it's still really loud. Okay, that's sounding cool. Whoops. I think I want to throw in, though, First off, this needs to be over here. There we go. Because I'm getting all bunched up here. All right. And then I think this is where I'm going to throw in the other one, but not slow it down. Okay. So I think this is where it's going to cut from one to the next, is just my initial thought process here. Okay. Let me import audio file. Okay. All right, and then this one alone is probably going to be, probably want to get rid of that initial part. Overlap it a little bit because I want it to not be so abrupt, maybe. Okay. I kind of dig that. How it's really abrupt. Yeah, I don't know. Sounding really rad so far, though. It's getting the car or bus, whatever. It's in the background. Love that. Kind of cycles out of it, and then I could see it work back into it. Although it kind of ends at a beautiful spot, doesn't it? That's fucking rad. Oh my god, that sounds super good. Okay, so there's one element left I think that would work really well here. I just want to make sure that it's not too abrupt. The finish isn't too abrupt here. It's almost like I want to amp it up at the end. Does that make sense? Where I like want it to get even louder right at the end, so that it's like swelling almost. Okay, let's do this. Let's duplicate and then turn this one way the hell up. Whoops. Get rid of that. Turn this one. Oh boy. There we go. Do that, but then turn it way up. It's going to be very loud, but I kind of want it to swell. Okay, that doesn't swell quite enough, but I think we're getting the gist of it. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, I think I need it even more. Maybe like that. Boy, that might get really loud. I think even I'm maybe a maniac here. That's cool. I fucking love that. I think even more. I want to see how far I can push it. Where are we at as far as volume? That's really cool. I love that. Okay. I just want to make sure that sounds good. This is probably Maniac, maybe a Maniac, but I want to listen to this. Once through to make sure that volume is sounding good. Fucking rad, come on. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, so what I was mentioning before is I think there's one thing that's left, and there's some vocal. There's a lot of songs where I take like vocal. There's no lyrics necessarily, but like tones and melodies that I sing, sort of. So I'm thinking that's what's left to supplement, I'd imagine. Yeah, I could see it working really well in the second half of this piece. So how long are we looking at here? Okay. So, yeah, I think that's what's left. Let's do one more. I'll probably have to put my headphones on for this one because I won't necessarily be able to hear what's going on. And I'm probably going to have to... Yeah, I don't know. There we go. I can hear myself. Great. Let's get some... Is that playing out loud? Oh boy. This will have to be the only one that. The only one that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's gonna have to be lower because that's gonna be a problem if I'm trying to do this correctly. So, pulling up Guitar Rig again because, again, my favorite thing is slight delay. Is it playing that? Okay, so I can hear it. Ooh. Maybe some reverb. Okay, that sounded good. Is that playing out loud? Because I don't want it to blow out my speakers. Okay. So this might sound funny on the stream because I'm doing this and I don't know if it's capturing Cubase because it's playing through my speakers for y'all to hear it. So bear with me as I do this. Okay, well, that was lovely. Let's take a listen to see if that's actually something that we want to keep. Make some adjustments as we go. It's a little too present in the mix. Let me turn it down a little bit. And it looks like the feedback's just a little too high. Turn that down a bit. Excuse me. All right, that's great. Love breathing into the mic to like create some All right, cool. That's sounding good. So I want to listen to just one more time before we're done because I'm running at 35 minutes here. I'm so sorry. But I think I'm like really close to being there. And I think the most important part that I want to nail down is like we've got the beginning down. We've got this couple of minutes that's going to sound great. As it starts to scale up, we've got that sounding really good. I just want to listen one more time to this kind of breakdown, if you will. And then I also got to keep in mind, I'm sorry, I'm moving my mouse around a bunch. I got to make sure I'm not making people sick by moving stuff around too quick. Okay, let's do this one more time. Really pleased with that. Oh no. Did the battery die on me? Ah, that's lovely. I think that's a good place to stop then. Because I think my battery on my camera just died. Yeah. So anyways, that is... I'm probably not going to change much with this, to be honest. And... I mean, pretty much this is like what I would consider to be a pretty... Oh my gosh, of course it's telling me that it's disconnecting. Anyways, I think this is pretty much sounding really good, is looking and feeling pretty close to done to me. I think the only other things that I might mess around with a little bit more, given that my camera just died and I don't want to continue speaking to you when you can't see what's going on, is like the vocal performance at the end. But I think everything else, given it sounds amazing so far, that's basically how I will put together a song or a piece or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, please let me know if you have questions. I know I sped through a bunch of stuff today. It was more of a typical, this is me going through my process, trying to vocalize while I'm going. So any case, I'm excited for next time. We're probably going to change some stuff up now that we have a song that's finished. I'll probably be just releasing this at some point on Spotify, I'd imagine. Just to show that, like, hey, that's also part of my process, is like, all right, I've got it figured out. Let me just drop it and be done. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for joining me. Conception Mechanism, episode 4. Stay tuned for the next set and the next episode. Have a great rest of your weekend. Talk to y'all later.